Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Doing good, doing better than me, I hope. Freezing cold, well, same freezing cold. We got a low of 5 degrees here on the Isle of Man today. Yeah, well, we're halfway through November, well into winter, but let's face it, the winter weather might only begin at the end of January, February, who knows. But time's going by quickly, and we got to be thinking about this picture behind us, the TT grandstand. Early morning on a cold morning, sun's just coming up, but not much racing going on. This is why I haven't been sort of around on the channel too much. Um, right now, of course, there's racing in Macau. I wish I was there. It's one of the places I've always wanted to go. But a friend of mine who works for the Macau Daily Post, she's promised to get me some videos, some photos, which I hope to put together and share here for you all. But we got some news about Honda, news about the Honda team for 2024. Yeah, Nathan Harrison is there, of course, and John McGuinness. But we've got a new man, should I say man or woman, going to join the team. So hang around and let's find out who it is. Don't go away. Okay, so when you look at the background, who do you see? We know John McGuinness. At one point. We got Nathan Harrison there over on the left. Right behind me, it's none other than, come on, Dean Harrison, of course. Yeah, you got it. Dean has been welcomed into the team now, and I hope he's going to do something special, because he's always trying on the Kawasaki, the DAO team, of which he's been with DAO for 7 years. He's had 2 wins, 2 wins on the TT with the team, but I think joining Honda is going to give him quite a break. Look at John McGuinness there. It looks like he's lost a bit of weight. Perhaps I need to find out what his diet is and try myself. So anyway, yeah, Dean Harrison's teamed up with John McGuinness and Nathan Harrison in preparation for the 2024 Isle of Man TT. So Harrison will now race for Honda Racing UK, confirming a 3-man team going into next year. So, speaking of the announcement, obviously he's very pleased, and Dean said, "I can't wait to begin a new chapter with Honda Racing UK." And I jumped at the chance when this opportunity came about. If I'm honest, it hasn't sunk in yet, and I don't think it will until I get to ride the bike for the first time in Honda colours. So he's going to be doing quite a bit of testing, I think, prior to the TT. But it feels like a good time to have a refresh, he said. And now's as good a time as any for a change. I've always been a Honda fan, and Honda is the way I want to go. I'm also really looking forward to being part of a multi-rider team after riding in a solo team for so long. So what's going to happen with the DAO Kawasaki? I haven't heard anything. Maybe you have. Tell me in the comments below if you have any idea who's going to get a Kawasaki ride. Is DAO going to continue? But yeah, I think that Dean's got a good job offer here, and Kawasaki just didn't seem to develop the same as Honda. I mean, he made it go, he performed well on it, but it just didn't seem to have the grunt that the Honda's got. Also, of course, when you consider working or being part of a three-man team, you're able to share data, collaborate with each other, which is an advantage over a solo rider. And working with John and Nathan, he says, both of whom I have great working relationship with already. I'm really excited. I think the Honda package with the new bike could be the missing link that I need. So good luck to Dean. Let's hope he performs well, and I'm pretty sure he will. But McGuinness, John McGuinness, he's opted to focus solely on the 1000cc classes, whilst both the Harrisons will also contest the two Monster Energy Supersport TT races under the Honda Racing UK banner, which returns to the class in an official capacity for the first time in several years. It's interesting. And let's not forget that the announcement coincides with the launch of a heavily updated CBR1000RR-R Fireblade SP for the Superbike and Superstock classes. So again, you know, Honda are always updating, moving on with developments, and so that's something that Dean is going to appreciate. Perhaps it didn't happen so much in the Kawasaki. Javier Beltran, if that's the right way to pronounce his name. I think he's the man in between Nathan and John McGuinness there. But he's really delighted that John is going to stay with Honda. So I don't know, when is he going to hang up his hat and his leathers? He's going to be back. He's only doing the thousands, we'll say only, on the new bike, of course. I imagine he's going to be pretty quick just the same. But still, it's always good to see John. He's very popular. He's a people person, always got time to have a chat. And yeah, I mean, he's good. And of course, what's he got to prove on the Isle of Man? Not a lot, I don't think. Okay, so while I'm here, let's just have a look back at TT23. Look at some of the figures that eventually came out. I know a lot of people said, oh, the format, and I know I'm one, the format was too condensed, you know, putting the conventional weeks of practice and then a week of racing. I don't know, just compressing it so much. It made it difficult for a lot of people, including the competitors, because there wasn't enough sort of space between the races. Weather played a little bit of a part of that, of course. You know, some of the sessions were cancelled or delayed. But I wish they'd go back to the original format, but who knows? Will it ever happen? I somehow doubt it. But let's see. Let's see what happens in 2024 next year, and see what you think about it. I'd like to see your comments, your feelings if you were here this year, what you thought about it. And I mean, are you a new TT fan? Is this your first time, or have you been coming for many, many years? Because if you have, you'll have seen a lot of changes, just as I have, of course. But things do move on. Things have to move on. But let's just go over some of the figures. So TT23, it saw more than 43,000 people attend. And that meant overall there was £36.1 million spent yeah, spent by the visitor. So all these visitors, it's just talking about the TT, of course, not the Manx Grand Prix. But a survey that was carried out by South Tourism Southeast, whoever they are, found that more than 43,000 people visited the island to witness the races between 29th of May and the 10th of June this year. It also revealed an increase in the average spend per head from £801 in 2019 to $834. It's not mentioning any figures from 2022, but I think they're looking at that as just getting over the pandemic, and numbers were probably down a lot. But again, this was carried out to assess really the value of the TT to the Isle of Man economy, while also revealing key visitor behaviours. What were they? Were they camping? Were they staying in hotels? Were they in homestay? This sort of thing. So one of those behaviours saw a 30% increase in those travelling by air compared to 2019. Other findings include 79% of visitors to the TT were staying in paid accommodation, and 7.5% were on a package trip. I know the package trips are available now, I think through Duke Marketing and also isleofmantt.com. And of course now is the time, and hope it's not too late, to book for the 2024 TT. I think that like many years, people leave it a little bit late, but we do have a nice big ship, a new big ship built in Korea. It looks a bit too big for me. It looks like a cruise ship. Huge thing, but it's there to accommodate a lot of passengers. So hopefully, pardon me, there'll be sufficient sea crossings to accommodate everyone who wants to come to the Isle of Man, of course, for the TT, the Southern 100 and the MGP. But going back to the figures, 32%, or let's see, 32% of visitors were camping, and 23.5% stayed in a hotel or guest house. Now, even camping at the organised campsites, of course, that is paid for. Some of these campsites, they do charge a lot. I'm quite surprised by the figures that some of the visitors are having to pay. Especially a family can cost a lot just to stay on the canvas for a few nights. 90% of all visitors were from the British Isles and Ireland. So we got a look when we see the visitors here, see the bikes, the license plates. We know there's a lot from France, from Germany, Spain, and other parts of the world. But yeah, it was confirmed 90% of the people were from British Isles and Ireland. The funny thing with my channel here is that I get a lot of views and a lot of subscribers from India, Indonesia, Japan. It's interesting. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because Christmas is coming and I will be doing a giveaway, no doubt. Pull a few subscribers' names out of the hat and just have something from the Isle of Man related to the TT or the road racing scene to send you. Where were we? So 38% of visitors were between 50 and 64 years of age, followed by 22% in the 30 to 49 age group, And almost 19%, 18.9 to be precise, of those were 65 years or over. I wonder how many of those over 65 have been coming for many years. If it was you, tell me in the comments below what you thought. How could things be improved? And we don't, people say, oh, it's not safe. It'll never be safe. How can road racing be safe? We can make it safer, of course, but we can't make it safe. Not for everyone, not for spectators, and not for the actual competitors. So please don't go on about it's dangerous, too dangerous, and shouldn't be happening. 98% of all visitors felt that their trip to the Isle of Man had met or exceeded their expectations. That's arguable, because a lot of people I spoke to were very open and said they weren't happy with the format. They won't be coming again, but wait till next June, end of May. They'll be here just like most other people. So yeah, I know we talk a lot, but as time goes by and we start to get excited about the TT arriving, then we change our minds. But sometimes we forget the negative things that happened the year before. Anyway, I'm going to wind up, but I think the best thing is the schedule for 2024 is already out. I'll bring that to you. Briefly, I can just say now that qualifying will start on Monday the 27th of May. So Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday we'll see evening practices, and then Thursday an afternoon practice. How good is that? That's like the old days, Thursday afternoon practice. I always remember when I was going to Braddon School, which is near Braddon Bridge. Thursday afternoon practices, school shut, we're off to the races. We couldn't marshal or anything, of course, but it was just nice to have an afternoon off and go and watch at Union Mills. And I don't know if I should tell you this, but we used to get bottles of pop then in glass bottles. The bottles were returnable, so when you bought it, you had to pay a deposit. So the big bottles, don't know how much they cost, probably a shilling. And you could get sixpence back on the bottle when you returned it to the shop. The small bottles, you could get threepence back. 3D this is, not P, of course. 12 pennies in a shilling. And so, while everybody is watching the bikes going past, me and my friends, would be going along looking for empty bottles, or almost empty bottles, and taking them back to the shop to get some money. And yeah, it's good fun. Surprising, isn't it, when we think of days gone by, what memories come into our minds. Okay then, everyone, good talking to you. I hope that you're all doing okay. As we're getting older, our health isn't always as good. We ache a little bit, but just a reminder as well, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It does help me channel a lot. You might have noticed also recently, sorry to keep going on, also recently I have posted some car rally photos and videos. That's because the Isle of Man does have a lot of events going on besides the motorcycle racing. I hope you haven't been too upset about seeing pictures of cars. I enjoy them all. I enjoy anything that makes a noise, to be honest. So let's not start on electric vehicles, because I'm never going to own one, I hope. Hope it's not going to be necessary. I believe in dirty diesel and petrol for power. Okay, take care everyone. This is it. I'll see you again very soon with the schedule for 2024. All the best. Cheers.